welcome students to this session of UGC Pathashala. Today we are going to talk about the upcoming topic Webometrics, Cybermetrics and Nettometrics. In this particular class, let us discuss about the growth and development of Webometrics. We will also be looking into the various application areas of Webometrics in library and information science field, and let us familiarize ourselves with the various concepts related to Webometrics, and let us also make ourselves aware about some of the data gathering tools. It is always a good thing to have history of a particular subject. History provides us the perspective in which the new subjects has evolved. As I said earlier, Webometrics is the upcoming subject. Once we look into the historical perspective of the topic Webometrics, you will come to understand the scope and limitations of the new topic Webometrics also. As you are already aware, the word bibliometrics was used by Alan Pritchard in 1969. Webometrics is a new generation term belonging to the category of bibliometrics. The bibliometrics, when Alan Pritchard used, he defines it as the application of the mathematical and statistical model for the books and other communication media. It became quite popular in 1970s. Once the term bibliometrics picked up its usage, parallelly in Russia also another term came into existence which also connotes almost similar kind of study, which is Cybermetrics. It is argued that Cybermetrics has a broader scope than bibliometrics, though many authors say that bibliometrics, Cybermetrics are near synonymous or synonymous words. The Cybermetrics refers to the study of quantitative aspects of science as a discipline or economic activity. Later in 1990s, the term informatics became quite popular, so popular that one can say that it has replaced the word bibliometrics and cytometrics almost completely. It is a study of the quantitative aspect of information. That is how informatics has been defined. When so many words are being used, it is natural for students to ask, what is the difference between bibliometrics, informatics and cytometrics? Though there are varied opinions about these terms, Tog Sutcliffe has given a kind of a comprehensive definition which differentiates bibliometrics, cytometrics and informametrics. He says, he concentrates on the word informametrics and says that informametrics does not just cover only recorded knowledge. It covers even the informal and spoken language also. He also argues in his definition that unlike bibliometrics, informametrics is not just for elite groups. It also covers the needs and uses of the information by the disadvantaged group as well. In 1997, the word informametrics was coined. It deals with the web phenomenon of measuring of information. It also deals with the hyperlink analysis of the social media technologies such as blogs and microbloggings. The term informametrics was first coined by two bibliometricians by name Almond and Ingwerson in 1997. It became the major area of library and information science domain. The Webometrics, Cybermetrics and Nettometrics includes the areas such as hyperlink analysis, you may be knowing about the word hyperlink, web citation analysis, search engine evaluation and also web data analysis or measuring of Web 2.0. All these areas together constitute Webometrics. Let us try to understand bit more about Webometrics. After going through this module, you will be able to understand the growth and development of Webometric research. You will have a bird eye view of Webometric research and its application in library and information science domain and also other social science domain. You will familiarize yourself with various techniques available for Webometric research. Finally, it is hoped that you will also know various data gathering tools available for conducting Webometric research. Let us look into some of the definitions of Webometrics. According to Johnborn and Ingwerson, Webometrics is the study of quantitative aspect of construction and use of information resources, structures and technologies on the web drawing on bibliometric and informametric approaches. Mike Thelwall, one of the pioneers in the field of Webometrics, defines Webometric as the study of web-based content with primarily quantitative methods for social science research goals using techniques that are not specific to one field of study, which emphasizes, of course, a small subset of relatively applied methods for use in wider social sciences. The introduction of the concept such as Web Impact Factor (WIF) by Ingwerson in 1998, which was similar to Web of Science's Journal Impact Factor for assessing the website, helped the Webometrics to establish as a method to assess the web phenomenon. The WIF measure may be defined as the number of web pages in a website receiving links from other websites divided by the number of web pages published in the site that are accessible to the crawler. As web became major source of information key area, it was identified to apply webometric technique to the web. Thelwall has identified 4 key areas of webometrics. According to him, the key areas of webometrics are link analysis, web citation analysis, search engine evaluation, and web data analysis or measuring of Web 2.0 technologies. Link analysis. Link analysis is a quantitative study of hyperlinks between web pages. Early webometric studies have conducted this type of research extensively. Link analysis has been used in webometrics study for identifying the pattern in academic or scholarly web spaces. Link analysis has direct analogies to traditional bibliometric studies. In traditional bibliometric related studies, the researcher often used to do studies by measuring or quantifying the research contributions of an organization or researcher through citations. In a similar way, link analysis can be done by identifying how popular a website is, which of the website or page is more popular and why. These kinds of research can be done by using link analysis in webometrics. The web crawling tools such as SOCCI-BOT, SOCCI-BOT, introduced by the Statistical Cybermetrics Research Group at the University of Wolverhampton, UK, and other freely available link analysis web crawlers have made the process of crawling web data simpler. Some of the major studies in this field of research have been reviewed by Kausha in his paper entitled Webometrics and Scholarly Communication and Overview. As a student of webometrics, I urge you to go through this particular paper, which gives an excellent overview of webometrics. The webometric ranking is one of the best examples for link analysis of academic university websites. Webometric ranking of world universities has been conducted since 2006 to identify the web presence of world universities through link analysis method. Another area of webometrics which is of importance is web citation analysis. Earlier, bibliographic citations found in the traditional citation indexing databases such as SCI, SSCI and HCI were considered as a major source for identifying the impact of research publications. However, the web provided a new method to overcome the limitations of bibliographic citation databases. It helps in finding the web citations for articles published online, largely for open access journals. Research on web citations have found that there was correlation between citations found in bibliographic citations and citation found on web for particular research papers. Two of the research publications that have been mentioned below on this subject throw more light on how these kind of studies can be conducted using webometrics. The studies by Kausha and Thelwall, published in 2005 and 2007 on Google Scholar and Google Web URL citations, are the studies which need to be read by all students of webometrics. Search engine evaluation is another area of research that has been conducting in Webometrics. The major Webometrics studies have concentrated on the coverage of the web and the accuracy reported results. It was known fact that none of the search engines have indexed whole of the information available on the web. Still, 70% of the information available on the web has not been indexed by any of the search engines available today. This data refers to 2010 data given by Mattayer. The reliability and validity of the data obtained through commercial engines was also very contentious issues in Webometrics. Many studies have raised the validity and reliability of data obtained through search engines. Many of the search engines such as Alta Vista, which was initially used by Webometricians for link analysis, Yahoo and Bing now have stopped providing advanced link search commands feature which were used extensively in beginning of Webometric research. This was reported by Thelwall in his article published in 2012. The development of web crawling programs and availability of API, application programming interface, from different information processing industry have now helped to expand Webometric research to other social science domain. The web data analysis or measuring Web 2.0 is an important area which has evolved over years. Webometrics has expanded its research base by simply measuring academic websites to other domain of research area, social sciences. Availability of web crawler and API has helped in extracting larger cache of data easily on the web. Recent studies done by Thelwall and his team have shown that how Webometrics can be used in other areas too, other than library and information science, which happens to be the traditional forte of Webometric research. Webometric has been used in many areas of studies apart from library and information science domain. Today, Webometrics is not only used for research evaluation but also for evaluating the web phenomenon in social sciences in particular. As the information available on the web increases, Webometrics in all likelihood will become an important method of research for studying the web data. There is a word Cybermetrics. Let us try to understand the difference between the Webometrics and Cybermetrics. Are both of these same or is there any difference? The web, a large repository of information, has been considered as one of the important medium for research. The availability of structured and non-structured data provided a fertile ground for using bibliometrics, centometrics and informametrics. Many researchers have proposed various terms to define new areas of research. The terms that were proposed are Nettometrics, Webometry, Internetometry, Webometrics and Cybermetrics, web bibliometry and webmetrics and so on. Ingerson and John Bourne have made an effort to differentiate these two terms. They have defined Webometrics as the study of quantitative aspects of construction and use of information resources, structures and technologies on www, drawing on bibliometrics and informametric approaches. They define Cybermetrics as the study of quantitative aspects of construction and use of information resources, structures and technologies on the whole of internet, drawing on bibliometrics and informametric approaches. Thus, Cybermetrics encompasses statistical studies of discussion groups, mailing lists, and other computer mediated communication on the internet. Going by this definition, we can say that cybermetrics include all aspects of internet related studies, including computer mediated communications, and covers quantitative aspects of web, including studying of web network properties. Figure 1 indicates the difference between these terms. Network analysis or nettometrics is another important area. Though network analysis has its origin long back in mathematics, sociology, and in other fields of human interaction, it is in the recent times that network analysis has gained its momentum because of the people interaction through technological means on the web. The social network is a social structure made up of individuals called nodes, which are tied or connected by one or more specific types of interdependency, such as friendship, kinship, common interest, financial exchange, etc., etc. Social network analysis views social relationship in terms of network theory consisting of nodes and ties. Nodes are the individual actors within the network, and ties are the relationship between the actors. The study on the co-authorship network in the digital library research community by Xiaoming Liu and others is one of the examples of how social network analysis can be used to identify the co-authorship network pattern among digital library research community. There is a whole lot of opportunity to apply social network analysis to different domain of subject areas. The development of network analysis tools and visualization software has allowed researchers to investigate large network like internet and interpret them in an understandable way. Let us try to summarize what we have learned in this session of Webometrics, Cybermetrics, and Nettometrics. The terms are newly evolved terminologies. However, they have their roots in the traditional field such as bibliometrics. We try to understand the perspective of Webometrics by looking into the historical evolution of the terms bibliometrics, Cybermetrics, and Informatics. In the literature, you find very confusing definitions for all these. Some authors argue that they are same and synonymous words, but some argue that we need to make the difference among these three words. Added to the confusion, the new words such as Webometrics, Nettometrics, and Cybermetrics have evolved. All said and done, all these things, all these metrics refers to measurement of information either on printed media or on the web. Measuring and quantifying phenomena is quite useful in policy making and understanding the development of the growth of any subject. My dear students, I request you to go through some of the important journals and books available in the field of bibliometrics, Cybermetrics, Informatics, and Webometrics, so that you can pick up the various concepts involved in this particular subject.